On today's episode of Days of Our Lives, Belle dumps Shawn, Marlena confronts Talia, Susan explains things to Ava and Harris, and Rafe and Tripp pay a visit to Edmund. Marlena confronts Talia in her office about having an affair with her son-in-law. Talia cries when she says it. Talia begs Marlena not to tell Belle, promising that it won't happen again. Marlena wishes she could tell her, but doctor-patient confidentiality prohibits her from doing so. Talia apologizes for disappointing Marlena after they decide that Talia has to see a different therapist. She departs sobbing. At the station, Jada gives Shawn her word that she won't let on that he had an affair with her sister. From the open doorway, Belle whispers, "You just did." Jada regrets how she learned this information. Belle is relieved it happened because she was very certain Shawn wouldn't tell her. Tripp enters Ava and Harris' hotel room after Rafe leaves Jada a voicemail from London. He cared about his mother and wanted to be of assistance. Rafe confesses his confusion over Ava and Harris' whereabouts. He does, however, have something akin to an APB out on them. Rafe receives a call with a potential lead as the men quarrel about Tripp's secrecy and Rafe's motives. Tripp persuades Rafe that he can help despite his orders to return home. Harris awakens in Edmund's closet. When Ava finally awakens, she discovers that Edmund tainted their tea. They find their ankles are tethered to the wall with chains. As Susan enters a door, Harris spots a third chain. "What are you aware of? You located me." Ava tells Susan that she wasn't in her right mind when she drove them off the cliff after being relieved that she hadn't been experiencing hallucinations. Susan sneers dismissively. It took them long enough to discover her. She messaged Ava so that everyone else would believe she was communicating with her from the afterlife. She also believed that Ava would be eager to find her in order to clean her name. Harris expects that EJ will now abandon his plan to harm Ava. Susan is moved by what her son done for her. However, in response to Ava's gaze, she vows to slap that boy when she sees him. Harris demands an explanation as Edmund walks in carrying food and water. After the vehicle accident, Edmund says he received a call informing him that Susan was still alive. She was brought there by two men nearly dead. They informed her that Susan was in danger, but he has no idea who they were. Susan continues by saying that when she awoke, she called out to her husband Roger, which infuriated Edmund. Edmund chained her up when she told him she only loved Roger. Edmund determines his plans for Susan need to be more evil after he finds out that Elva is the one who pushed Susan from the cliff. He leaves the room angrily. Shawn offers Belle his apologies after Jada departs. She strikes him. Shawn begins to feel sorry for himself, even though he knows he earned that. Belle won't listen to it. He calls attention to her previous transgressions, but Belle argues that they weren't technically together for two of those instances. Whatever the case, she believed this to be the one thing he would never do to her. Rafe informs Tripp that the server at the British cafe recognized Ava and Harris from their passport photos. They looked up Edmund Crumb on his phone when they were there yesterday. Rafe knows where he lives. Talia is upset when Jada finds her at the hospital. She forewarns her sister that Belle is aware of their relationship. Jada confronting Shawn about it is unfathomable to Talia. She stands up for Shawn, claiming that he didn't exploit her gullibility. She hopes Jada won't have a different impression of her. She is not judged by Jada. She is always there, and Talia appreciates that. At the station, Shawn asserts that Talia was a mistake, and that he loves Belle. He had just fought Belle, and was inebriated. He implores her not to hold Talia accountable. Belle refuses. She focuses solely on Shawn. She believes that he did this to avenge her for past transgressions. He initially denies it, but later concedes that what happened was warranted by her past. But if he was able to forgive her, she ought to do the same for him. Belle declines, saying there is nothing he can do to make things better. She bolts outside. Talia, who Belle runs into at the hospital, apologizes. As she makes her way to Marlena's office, Belle tells the woman to go to hell. She confesses Shawn's infidelity to her mother. Marlena comforts her while she cries. Jada apologizes to Shawn as she approaches him at the station. He doesn't hold her accountable, but he also doesn't want to discuss it. She gives him an update on Dimitri's progress in rehabilitation and Rafe's tip regarding Ava and Harris. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Daily Bulletin News, and stay with us.